So this will be the last video that I record in this house. I'm moving away in a couple of days, as I said in a previous video. So it's not bittersweet at all. I'm very happy. But clutter, greasy hair, busy doing all this stuff. But I have time to make one last video in this place, and I will because a lot is going on right now. A lot is going on. We've got this submarine that imploded at the bottom of the ocean with a bunch of rich people on board, and I've been seeing a lot of people ridiculing this thing and, basically saying, oh, well, and of course there's a chorus of people on the opposite side, and the media treating this like, these people were these brave, intrepid explorers, and it's such a big tragedy, and oh my God, all the resources that went into finding people that were doomed from the start, pretty much. But I'm supposed to feel bad, especially considering that a week before this, a boat with 300 migrants from Pakistan just capsized, and there was like this much of a rescue effort put into to rescuing these migrants, compared to like the massive search effort put into this to find these trouser stains who wanted to go down and see a wreck that's already been explored 100 times over, so they could just say that they did it. They could say that they did it, because otherwise it's like, what's the big fucking deal? You're seeing the wreckage through this tiny little porthole. Did you see the size of this thing? It's like 22 feet. 22 feet, this fucking thing. Just a tiny little tin can, $250,000 a pop. And the CEO himself, the one who cut corners and bragged about it, cut corners on this submersible and bragged about it. He died himself, hoisted himself up by his own petard. I don't give a shit. I think... It's not that I wanted them to die, but if they happen to die over the course of this foolhardy trip, they knew the risks. They knew the risks. And how the hell am I or most of the world ever supposed to be able to relate with this kind of tragedy? Am I ever going to spend $250,000 to go on a sum? I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be stupid enough to do that, but to go to space, to do this, all this kind of stuff, no. And even if I had that kind of money, and the primary reason is I don't trust these billionaires to not cut corners the way that Stockton Rush did with Ocean Gate. I wouldn't trust Elon Musk to not cut corners when he starts sending people into space. And he will. If he does it with his business life, he'll do it with the people he's sending into space, even if they're rich. Even if they're rich, these people were massively wealthy, and that wealth couldn't stop them. That feeling of invulnerability couldn't stop them from dying and imploding in the middle of absolute nowhere. They're probably never going to find their bodies. They're either fish food, or they just kind of became one with the ocean, so to speak. Let me read you a quote from Stockton Rush, by the way, talking about breaking some rules to make this ill-fated submarine. I think it was General MacArthur, yeah, he's a lot like General MacArthur, yeah, who said, "You're remembered for the rules you break. I've broken some rules to make this," the Titan. "I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me." Oh, logic and good engineering. Hey, you're controlling this whole thing with a Logitech controller. Something that you'd find on on the floor of a teenager's bedroom. Logic and good engineering. And before I finish this quote, to further indict this piece of crap, there was another rich trouser stain who put a deposit down on this trip, pulled out because he saw everything and he didn't think it was on the up and up. He saw that there were a lot of corners being cut, not just because of the controller, but also the ballast looked like it was made out of like recycled paper clips or something like that. It did not look good to this person. "Carbon fiber and titanium. There's a rule you don't do that." Well, I did, and now you're dead. "It's picking the rules you break that are the ones that will add value to others and add value to society." Yeah, kind of like breaking labor laws, right? Breaking worker safety rules and laws, the kind of things that billionaires are notorious for. Again, if they cut corners with the businesses they own, they will cut corners in your stupid little spaceship. They will cut corners with your submersible. And when I say stupid little spaceship, make no mistake, I think space exploration, I'm very much interested in it. I think it's something that us mere mortals will only get a sliver of knowledge out of, but still, it is a good thing, but it should not be in the hands of people like Elon fucking Musk. Would you trust your life in the hands of Elon Musk? Would you trust your life in the hands of anybody who has made a career out of maximizing profits and minimizing safety? This is the game that these rich people are playing. And if they happen to go kaboom in midair, if they happen to go kaboom at the bottom of the ocean, if their hot air balloon just putters out and you know, why should we call these things tragedies? What are they doing? What value are they adding to society by, you know, going around in a submarine to a wreckage that we've already seen? That they discovered this, or you know, they was it 1986? Robert Ballard and his crew. They went down there. I saw the video. You saw the video. There you go. There it is. It's a big rusty hunk of shit, 3,800 meters down at the bottom of the ocean. What more could we possibly ascertain from this? This is not a tragedy. This is absolutely not a tragedy. What happened off the coast of Greece a week ago, that was a fucking tragedy. And again, only a very tiny fraction of a fraction of an amount of attention and care was put into that rescue as they put into this. A search area that's two and a half times the size of Connecticut. Billions of dollars probably when all is said and done. Not tragic at all. I encourage billionaires. Zuckerberg, who else has talked about wanting to go? Branson, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, all of them. Go to space. Get into space. Take the risk. Take the risk. You're still going to have a bunch of people down here on terra firma saying, oh my God, they're so brave. They're explorers, even though all you did was pay money to get there. All you did was write a check, right? I encourage you. Take these stupid risks. Go down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench if you can find a way to do it. Go fly yourself to Mars, whatever. Take all these risks and rid yourselves from this planet. Go away. You won't be missed. You will not be missed. And your draconian policies will not be missed. And the way that you treat human beings who are beneath you will not be missed. I encourage you. Go. Do it. You know, that's basically my philosophy behind this whole thing, is that if you've got this kind of money and the risk you think, if the risk is one that you're willing to take, go ahead. But if you die, if you crash and burn and fall, you know, screaming to your death, why should it be seen as a tragedy? If you're a billionaire, you are a net negative to this planet. You are a net negative to this universe, for that matter. Especially if we start, if the main reason that these people are gonna really start putting their money behind space exploration is to fund the next generation of deep space miners, so we can colonize space and spread our ridiculous colonizer ways to the rest of the universe, you know? I really, really encourage any super rich person, not just billionaires, but any of you super rich people who want to put down 250, 300,000, upwards of that into one of these trips, one of these excursions that has a waiver about this long and mentions death about 500 times on the front page. Do it. Go. Bye-bye. And if you happen to make it back to Earth, wonderful. I'll care just as much about that as I would if you were to crash and burn and blow up into a million tiny pieces. You don't create anything good for the working class of this world, for the people who are trying to survive, while you hoard all of that money that could go, that you just snap your fingers and boom, there's an issue that the poor face, gone. Boom, there's an issue that children around this world face, gone. Yeah, you will not be missed, Stockton Rush. You will not be missed, Hamish, whatever. And the rest of them, I'm sure their families will, and that's just oh so sad, and I'm gonna try to squeeze some tears out for that. But don't. It makes no sense to tell somebody who's looking at this and just shrugging their shoulders that they're being too harsh or too mean. You know, again, how can you, even person who's saying we're being too harsh and too mean, how can you relate with these people? There's no humanity in these people whatsoever. What humanity is there within a billionaire? I don't care how much money they give away to causes. They're doing it for the tax break. They're doing it for the tax break that they get. They're not doing it to be... If they really wanted to be philanthropists, they would give a lot more of their money away than they have. And the ways that working people in this world, the mental gymnastics they do to justify their worship of these billionaires and their right to hoard all of this wealth while so much around you is falling apart due to a lack of funds in this capitalist, late stage capitalist hellhole. It's just, it's sick. It's sick that, you know, when all is said and done, this stupid submersible going boom is going to get a lot more media attention and a lot more calls for safety than any boat full of migrants capsizing could ever. You know, it just won't make a difference, especially in Europe, where you've got all these countries who are really, really anti-immigrant, couldn't give a shit less. This should make the entire world re-examine how Europe treats immigrants and especially those fleeing inhospitable locations around this earth, because that's kind of the future of the earth. You know, there are going to be a lot of places on this planet that are going to be, due to climate change, absolutely inhospitable, and they're going to need somewhere to go. And Europe can't be like this forever. We can't have a bunch of racist white people running around forever going, yeah, I don't want these people here. You're going to have to learn to, you know, accept other people, because that is humanity. You know, giving a shit about people who have no other choice, who aren't nearly as fortunate as you, who cannot, and you know, soapbox this, soapbox that. Again, can't care, can't squeeze out a tear, and this is nobody's fault but the CEO of the place, and he's dead, so we can't question him even any further on how this horrible tragedy could have happened. But again, I encourage all of you rich people out there who have the $250,000 and up to spare, I wholeheartedly encourage you, go to space, go to the bottom of the sea, fly around the world in a balloon, fly around the world on the top of a drone. You know, do whatever. That's, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that for now. Have a good day, folks.